'Tis I, your friendly neighborhood Spidey-Wing, and today I'm doing something kind of different. I'm going to be talking about the entirety of the Power Rangers Mystic Force toy line. Basically, this is going to be different than what I normally do, but I do think a perspective on the toy line as a whole is a very important thing. Why? Because I consider the Mystic Force toy line to be one of Bandai of America's crowning achievement. It combines very accurate looking toys with just some general fun and some really neat things. However, as much as I love the toy line as a whole, there are some glaring missteps or flaws that I will be pointing out. Also, please note, this will cover only the toys that I have. Now, while I'll try and cover some of the stuff that I don't have, just from what I remember from reading reviews online and just looking at pictures and whatnot, I may not cover everything, so my apologies if I don't cover something you wish I would have talked about. So, what did we get started with? Well, the basic action figures. Starting off with the figures, they, in my opinion, are very well done, with some very accurate accessories, such as this, the Magi Staff for the Pink Ranger, or this, the Magi Staff bow gun for the Yellow Ranger. And they also came up with an interesting gimmick, a light-up shield, like this, for the Korag figures, which I'll talk about in a minute about them. But I like this because this was an interesting gimmick, and it provided a unified feature for the entire line by giving them light-up shields. However, there was one flaw, and it does involve this shield right here. It's these guys right here. The Korag figures were really short-packed. In fact, these two figures right here, these are repaints that I did myself of a repaint of the basic Korag figure that was all kind of white and gray and a bit of red, which to me made no sense. After all, if you wanted to do a good repaint of Korag, you could have just gone with, well, this guy. But I think when Bandai designed the figure, it wasn't known at the time that it was going to be good, and blah blah blah, things happen. You know, it's a flaw, and it's one I really wish they could have corrected. Unfortunately, Korag kind of gets shafted in the entirety of the toy line. But that's the spring line, as memory serves. Let's move on to the fall line. However, what is a really nice boon for the line this year, or that year, sorry, we actually get a Hidiak or Zobil. It's nice. I really like the way this came out. Plus, it has an interesting feature. You get a pop-up head. So that, I think, is actually pretty cool. It's a nice little bonus. And, you know, if you're an army builder, you could have gotten a bunch of these. I only got one because, hey, that's generally how I get stuff. I don't really need more than one. The battleized figures are also pretty nice. You kind of get something here that looks pretty decent. An interesting gimmick of a rotation thing there. And it's a little bit more generally posable than the regular figures, with a gauntlet swivel at the top and a bicep swivel just above the elbow. Overall, not that bad. It's just, it is what it is. It's the Battleizer. Alright? Yeah. Not really a whole lot more I can say about it. The Legend Mode figures are also very well done. They have generally the same posability. They do away with the rotation joint right here, which is disappointing. Okay, I won't lie. It would help a lot of poses with this. But, you know, hey, it's life, and I kind of wish that this hadn't been glow-in-the-dark either. It just really kind of looks silly in their hands, and I really wish it had been a solid gray piece, maybe with some harder plastic. But that's life. I mean, this is really a kind of a minor thing. What is cool, though, is that each figure has a swappable head. You just take it, you just take this, and you put it on. Sorry, mine's kind of stiff. And they can go helmetless. That's actually kind of cool. The heads overall are, in my opinion, decent likenesses of the actors, with the exception of Nick. But hey, what are you going to do? However, there is one big glaring misstep in the fall line for the regular figure. No Solaris Knight. I mean, this right here really bugs me. Sorry about the white balance. We get a Genji, or Smokey. This is nice. I kind of modified it to give him a longer robe, okay? But no Solaris Knight. This is a custom that I made. They don't even give you a really good 6th Ranger figure. That's just a big misstep on the part of Bandai of America. Okay, I mean, seriously, how do you not give the fans, or anyone, to buy a good 6th Ranger? It's just to me, that's a no-brainer. You give the 6th Ranger. You give the full team. However, that is only one flaw in the figures themselves. It's a small thing, and really, a lot of this stuff is just small, because, in my opinion, the quality of each of these figures far outweighs the individual minor issues. So, now that I've talked about the regular core figures for a bit, I'm going to get into the specialized figures. Like, I have a couple of Zord Morphine ones. I'm going to talk about them really quick. Okay, the Zord Morphine figures are also kind of nice. I mean, it was the only way to get a really good-looking Solaris Knight in the line, unfortunately, and even then it's kind of iffy. I don't like the fact that it's got that right there on the back. But if you're just looking for a decentish looking Solaris Knight, it's there. It's just really kind of out of scale with the regular figures. However, like I said, I still like it. It's got an interesting feature where you can actually transform it into the train. I'm not really going to bother with that for right now. And also, the Zord Morphine Red Ranger here transforms into his Titan form, which I think is a really cool idea and gimmick. It's done simply. You just kind of add these on, and you got them. But hey, I like a simple gimmick that is fun, and this is clearly really kind of designed for the kids, just to give them something fun to do, and just give them a figure that does more than just pose and whatnot. It gives them something to play with, so I can't really fault them for that. Okay, now I'm going to get into one of the unique specialized figures. I call them big scale figures. I don't really remember what the full name was, but I'm going to get into it. These right here are really neat. You get a nicely posable figure. Seriously, these things have double jointed arms, knees, a rotatable waist, a rotatable wrist, a bicep swivel, a head swivel, and a ball jointed foot with a twist or swivel joint at the ankle, sorry. These right here are really nice. They incorporate a sound feature too, which is, it is what it is. Sound chips in these guys and in the Legend Mode figures. You can't get the rights for the voice actor, so they just do something general, and for me, that's just kinda iffy. And also, personally kinda iffy are the chest proportions on these particular figures. They look really kinda big to me. But that's small and personally nitpicky. All in all, I love these figures just for how posable and unique they are. They didn't do that many of these, Bandai of America, and each of them really kind of feels unique and well done as a result. Well, a lot of figures that I covered, and I still have a bit more to go. And this right here is my favorite part of the toy line. Posable Megazord action figures? Yes, please. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, these are wonderful additions to the toy line. They look nice, and they are wonderfully posable. Like, for example, how the Titan Megazord right there is dual-handing the Titan Saber. I can't do that with any of my regular figures. It just really helps. Also, if I move this here Solar Streak Megazord out of the way, we got a Centaurus Wolf Megazord. I'll get into that a little later when I start talking about the Megazords. But overall, these were wonderful ideas, and I really wish Bandai of America would do some more with it. Unfortunately, they've kind of moved into other ideas, and so we probably won't be seeing posable Megazord action figures for a while, which for me is a travesty. But now that I've gotten the figures all out of the way, I'm going to start moving into the other stuff, the roleplay toys, and then I'll get into the Megazords. The Mystic Morpher, I really kind of wanted to blacken a lot more than I thought I would. Okay, you have to understand the big differences between it and the Majiphone. Excuse me. It had a lot of its gimmicks removed, so it only encompassed this lower section right here. The spring-loaded feature was here, and everything was down here. Okay? Once you realize that, it's not that bad. Also, the spell system, it works for Mystic Force. Problems that it got used, the way it got used were, of course, more the fault of the show than the toy itself. The toy itself really kind of sticks well to it. Of course, it's quieter than the Majiphone, but hey, that's life. You accept that, you move on. I don't really mind it. I don't think you should either. It's not that big of a deal. The repaint over here, well, it's a repaint. You've got the Wolzard fire symbol right here. I'm hoping that shows up. Which is kind of a neat idea, and this was originally all clear plastic. I kind of painted it because that clear plastic kind of bugged me. But the Mystic Morpher itself was really nice. Okay, it worked really well for what it was. However, there is the area of the 6th Ranger's Morpher. The Solaris Morpher was okay-ish. It does away with all of the buttons here, and just makes this one the only operable one. But the original grip phone just made random sounds when you push the buttons here. So, it's kind of give and take. What kind of bugs me is that they replaced any tickets with that, with a little blade extension, which for me is kind of silly. I made my own little set of tickets myself, so it's not that big of a loss for me. But it is something to consider, and it is kind of a misstep from screen accuracy. The Battleizer is just that. It was the pulse. It was just the way Bandai did it at the time to just kind of repaint the 6th Morpher for that, to include maybe something a little bit as a partial remold. It is what it is. So, meh. Yeah. I am not that thrilled with the 6th Ranger's Morphers. However, there are some roleplay toys that I was really thrilled with. The Magistaff. It is just as awesome, if not outright better, than the Magi-Stick set from Magiranger. Okay? That's my claim. I'm going to stick with it. Also, we get something really kind of cool. The Mystic Lion Staff. Now this, I'm not going to be able to show off fully in frame because it is freaking huge. Okay, plain and simple. This thing was a big scale toy and a mega power weapon, I believe is what Bandai called them at the time, and I really wish they would get back to this because this was awesome. This is something I, as an adult, can two-hand, and it still feels beefy. Not only that, you get a cool feature where it can transform into the Dial Rod Bowgun from late in the series, and it fires little foam discs, which for me is just cool. Okay? That is cool. Now, it does leave a bit to be desired, in terms of screen accuracy. I mean, it doesn't have the dialing feature that it does on the show, but that was, I think, to be at least partially expected. And I think the pluses on this really outweigh the minuses. Okay, so that's it for those two. I want to talk about, really quick, a kind of a role-play weapon, but something I really like. This, I think, was also a neat addition. A deluxe Titan Saber. We don't get that many Megazord weapons for role-play toys. And this, I think, was just cool. It looks like it with a few little paint additions. It incorporates a little thing where this can come off. It's just cool and fun. And I really liked the roleplay toys. Okay, I mean, it's just, you can't really go wrong with that. However, there are a couple of things I'm going to talk about really quick that I don't have. The Dragon Staffs, the weapons for the Battleized Red Ranger, I never really picked up. They never really interested me. However, they are screen accurate, and if you're buying the full line for accuracy, what was used in Mystic Force, you really probably can't go wrong picking it up. But really, without owning them, I can't really talk much more about them. However, there was one big flaw too. A lack of a good Jagan Shield and Wool Saber set in America. We got something, but it really wasn't all that good. And it was a shelf warmer for years. I remember seeing that particular weapon toy again in the Overdrive toy line. Another video for another day. Whew! Oh gosh, that is a lot of stuff to cover. However, now I think we're ready to get into the big guns, the Megazord. Titan Megazord, I've already reviewed, but again, just to put it simply, same mold as Magi King, but lacking paint. Still a very good combiner slash triple changer. Okay, so moving on, we have Shunk. Kashunk. The Solar Streak Megazord slash Trevelyan. Same mold, same features, same LED. It's the same bloody thing as the Deluxe Trevelyan, so, you know, can't really go wrong with that. Now then, we have the, I think the toy is named the Centaurus Phoenix Megazord. In the show it's just called the Phoenix Unizord. Okay, same mold as Saint Kaiser, same repainted Magi Phoenix slash Phoenix Titan, same weapon. It's the same thing, just for a good deal less money. Finally, we have Kashunk. Oh, this big fellow for the Toys R Us exclusive of the year, Magi Legend slash Manticore Megazord. Same toy, same electronic action, same auto combiner, same paint, same everything, just for a good deal less money. However, you'll notice there's one Megazord missing. If I can pick it up. There is no Deluxe Centaurus Wolf Megazord. This is the only one we got. This is the biggest flaw of the line. Bandai in Europe got one. Why couldn't we? Oh yeah, because they didn't think kids would buy the evil one. Alright. Yeah, I'm still really irked about that even years later. Quiet. Well, that is it. I've covered pretty much everything. So, in conclusion, the Power Rangers Mystic Force toy line is, like many other things, not without flaws. This was created by humans. After all, humans are flawed creatures. But I think, personally, that the successes of the line far outweigh the flaws. So, for me, this is a toy line, if you can, you're going to want to get most of. I got the entire, what I deemed screen-accurate line. Basically, I kind of got the ones I really wanted, with the exception of the, that were used on screen, with the exception of the Dragon Staffs. So, you know, I got a lot of it. I like it. And if you can, I think this is something you should get a lot of. Well, that's it for me. I'm swinging out. Thank you and good day.
To jest paczka, która przyszła aż z dalekiej Koslady koło Madrytu. Tak to oto wszystko wygląda. Na przesyłce jest oczywiście adres i, proszę Państwa, co szokujące, firma, która zajmuje się produkcją tych strojów, mieści się w Wielkiej Brytanii. Paczka szła przez Hiszpanię i w końcu trafiła do Polski. No to zobaczymy, co tam w środku jest. A w środku jest oto coś takiego, mianowicie kostium czerwonego Power Rangers, serialu, który świętuje właśnie 20. rocznicę od emisji. Także w Polsce, pamiętam, był emitowany na antenie telewizji Polsat i później innych telewizji. Tak oto wygląda ta przesyłka. Firma Morswitz z Wielkiej Brytanii. Czerwony Power Ranger. Instrukcja jak prać. Instrukcja bezpieczeństwa. Tak oto wygląda ten strój. Zaraz go wyciągniemy. Tak. I proszę. Najpierw logo firmy Morswitz. A zaraz Wam pokażemy cały strój. A tak wygląda już cały strój. Tutaj jest oczywiście twarz. Przez to oczywiście da się patrzeć, także spokojnie można patrzeć przez to. Oddychać można. Co do picia, no to wolałbym nie próbować. Ale tak oto wygląda ten strój. Solidne wykonanie, kurczę. I rękawice. Oczywiście są przyszyte do pozostałych części ubrania. To jest oczywiście morfer. Pas z morferem Power Rangers. Tam jest oczywiście druga rękawica przyszyta. Schodzimy niżej. A tak wygląda stopa. Jedna i druga. Jak zresztą widać, strój jest identyczny jak ten pokazany na stronie internetowej. A tak oto strój wygląda z tyłu. Tutaj na tyłku mamy logo firmy Morswitz, czyli producenta tego stroju, który mieści się w Wielkiej Brytanii. Stopy. I co najważniejsze, jak to ubrać? Oczywiście tutaj mamy taki zamek błyskawiczny, który się rozpina oczywiście. I to, co widzimy, szwy są podwójne w tym ubraniu, także raczej się nam nie powinny rozpaść. Bardzo fajna sprawa. I widzimy tutaj też metkę z logiem Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oczywiście nazwa Power Rangers Mighty Morphin jest nazwą zastrzeżoną przez firmę Saban, która była oczywiście producentem tego serialu. To co najważniejsze, instrukcja, metka jest także w języku polskim. A tak wygląda strój już po założeniu. Polecam, kupujcie. A na koniec zapraszam Was wszystkich na kanał Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, gdzie oto tacy zabawni goście kręcą filmy.
They won't be able to hear me.
How do you know?
I don't know, I just assume so. Hello everybody. Today we are reviewing Power Rangers Zero Battle Racers. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I know nothing about Power Rangers, and we don't generally do game reviews, and there's great guys out there that do game reviews, and we're not trying to hone in on their territory by any means. But Jason here knows a lot about Power Rangers, and I thought he could provide some insight into this game. It's from 1996, and it looks a lot like Super Mario Kart, and I guess that's just the style of the game at the time. I was looking up to see if it was based on any of their platforms, but I didn't find any information like that. But as far as like the genre goes, how do you think they did?
It seems to be pretty much like every other racing game I've played. There's not really anything other than getting to like play the Rangers themselves, and King Mondo is actually, and you can play a cog. There's actually a secret character you can unlock apparently that is another type of cog, a cog ace, but I don't really know the difference between the different cogs. But other than that, it just seemed like pretty much every racing game out there. So, what about you?
I think that if you're going to buy a game for Super Nintendo for fun, then Mario Kart's the way to go. But there's something to be said, I think, if you have like a fan, a fan genre.
Mm.
Like, did it give it a lot of? Did it give it anything extra from not being Mario and you're driving around Jason or whoever from the show?
Not really, I guess. I don't know.
Because you collect this stuff a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, I have some Power Ranger stuff. I mean, I'm a Power Ranger fan. But it's just like, when the characters would come up, like King Mondo, he had his own name, but when like the Yellow Ranger was up, it said like Player 1 or Yellow. It didn't say Tanya. When the Gold Ranger was up, it just said whatever. It didn't say the actual name of the character. So, and even the things that you were driving around on, like the tracks and stuff, it didn't really seem to be like show specific or anything. And I mean, I could see where it could be interpreted as like you're in the power chamber or you're, wherever, but it's not really like Zordon's not there, Alpha doesn't show up. Or anything like that. So,
and part of that might be because of the year it came out. I mean, putting that extra stuff in the game, they could have found a way to incorporate it. So, I mean, shame on them for that. But as far as just like maybe seeing, Zordon like hovering above the track or something, or his face showing up, maybe that was just not a possibility to incorporate into the levels itself. I don't know. But then again, I mean, there's some really amazing games out there that do incorporate a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But we're going to play some, and we're going to show you some of our gameplay footage, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
It's the official Power Rangers Zeo theme song. So it's off to a good start.
So what is Zeo?
It is what came right after, well, technically Alien Rangers. There's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and there's Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers when they became children.
Okay.
People.
So,
Wait a minute. I don't know what I did.
you went to one player, which is fine.
I always start over.
With the press reset, or you could just play.
Okay. I was gonna see who all is available. Tommy, Jason, Rocky,
On her.
Catherine.
What the hell is that she's riding?
Sex Machine, Adam, and Tanya. Oh, you can do a Crybot too?
Zanya's not the best driver.
I'm gonna go with King Mondo. I'm just gonna do it.
Didn't the Yellow Ranger die in a car accident?
The original one.
Oh,
The
okay.
Asian one. Not Tanya. She was the third.
She was not using the Game Genie.
Character. Shut your mouth. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna hit B and see what happens. Not much.
This looks like Mario Kart, like the sides of the roads and stuff.
Yeah, I can jump. I'm terrible at racing games, I should have. Looks like a fairly...
It is not good to be the king.
Yay! Oh, missed the purple jumpy pad. At least this one, I don't know if there's other tracks you can select, but this one's pretty. It's a square. And once you figure out. Fuck me. Once you figure out where to like let off the gas and stuff, it's pretty. Hey, I'm on the second lap. Yay!
You're on lap 4 or 5.
That's okay, I'll be last. Oh, this is the fun lap. Everybody else is already home having tacos.
Edge of your seat.
Yay! I suck balls.
It was a photo finish. Like the Yellow Ranger was taking photos, you know, like she was the winner with
Yeah.
her fans, and as they did that, you crossed.
Yay! How do I say no? Oh, thank you. That's pretty simple.
Game over.
You know, the person who did the voice of Queen Machina in Power Rangers Zero is actually Alex Borstein, the same lady that does Lois Griffin on Demogorgon, and was a cast member on Mad TV for a long time.
She did what voice?
Queen Machina,
Who's Queen Machine?
King Mondo's puppet, I guess.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to look at the Red Ranger's so broken. Like,
Well, he's Tommy. He's got to be awesome. Oh, Mondo has the most speed.
auto, why would I ever go for manual?
I'll try Adam.
Oh, it's a match race.
Based on precedent, I'd say you're probably gonna win.
much more simple. You suck. You're great.
Just because I was out there having a picnic.
Bumper chase.
I don't understand why I'm spinning out.
You tried to turn too fast. If you turn too fast, you spin out.
Now I know.
So maybe the person going faster is the one that don't hit the spinning faster. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well, the Power Rangers could win once again.
Now what are we doing?
Well, you just won. Remember? You threw King Mondo off the side of the the side of the universe in that one level. Don't you remember the last level we played? Where we were knocking
Yeah.
each other off
Yeah.
and you won.
I actually fell off in the last one.
I fell off, then you fell off, then I fell off. So that means Power Rangers win.
Oh.
And that's where we have to end it, with the Power Rangers winning. Isn't that good?
Okay.
I don't remember which Ranger. You were the blue one, right?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Rocky.
Rocky? Rocky came out on top.